For all intents and purposes, we should be live. But you haven't gotten the thing on your phone yet, have you?
I haven't gotten a notification yet. Oh, wait. Yes.
Well, good morning and welcome to Sunday Morning Mass. All rise. Yeah, that's the name of the new show on TV right now.
You know what? I've actually watched
I think it's under in
a
the
snippet
football
of
promos,
it. Yeah, it's pretty decent.
Please be seated. We're
Yeah.
going to go past the formalities here this morning. We're glad to be here with you. I don't think that we really promoted the fact that we'd be live today, but
No?
in any case, we are, and we hope you'll join us on the live chat. Let us know. Check in right now. A couple of things going on a little bit different today. We have a different camera that we're using.
Yes.
It's a GoPro.
Yeah.
And I think it's pretty damn clear from what I can tell.
Boy, the picture looks good.
Yeah.
Considering I just dropped it 15 minutes ago without a case.
Well, you really need to cut back on the drinking.
The tremors have kicked in.
We have a new microphone today, too.
Yes.
So-
and new lighting.
And new lighting. Yeah, I forgot about that.
All new in 2020.
We told you we'd be doing some new stuff in 2020, and we have.
I can't find
You can't find it?
it.
Okay.
I don't know. It said we're live.
All right,
Oh,
so
wait.
what you got?
There we
now?
go.
All right, let's jump right into this, Ronnie, and talk about the holidays that we just went through. Many of you know that. First of all, good morning to Anon.
Yeah.
How you doing, buddy?
And Davio.
How GoPro looks great. Thank you, Davio. Appreciate it. Hope things are going well for you in Colorado.
Rick Clemenson's here. Lou
Rick,
and Ronnie Fan 500.
good morning to you.
My favorite screen name ever.
Hey, Rick, I saw your second video. I don't know if you noticed or not, but Rick Clemenson has a YouTube channel now where he plays all original music live for you, and we hope that you'll check that out. Just go to YouTube and Yoo-hoo.
That's one of my favorite drinks from back in the day.
I grew up on that stuff on the East
Yoo-hoo?
Coast.
Yeah.
It was really popular back
It was
then.
good.
So if you're on YouTube, check that. Not now, of course.
Yeah.
But after we're done here, check out Rick Clemenson. You can see his name there on the live chat.
Davio says, turn off your cell phone. It's making a noise.
Whose cell phone? Yours. It's got to be yours.
You know what? I really don't. I'll try.
I don't have anything on mine except for my text. Yep.
Huli says hi, or hola.
I'm going to turn down my volume anyway. Davio, is that better?
Yeah, how's
Making
it sound
noise. CO is great. Hola, Huli. So we're glad that you're here. We thought you'd kind of might want to know what we did over the holidays. Christmas was in Christmas and New Year's really in a weird weekday position.
Yeah, it was a Wednesday, I guess, on both, right?
The actual holiday was Wednesday and the eves were on Tuesday. I was very fortunate enough, and I didn't expect this. I thought I'd be working a half day on the eves, and our company gave us both days off, which means that for 2 weeks we worked a 3-day work week. And
that's not bad work if you can get it.
It's not, except for the fact that it really F's up your mind. You'd have, like many people, I saw it on Facebook and social media and stuff. People were saying this is the Tuesdayest Saturday of, I don't know. You saw them on our page. Oh, yeah, if you haven't done so, check out our Facebook page. It's Men Are So Smart, and there you'll find some of the greatest memes that I can discover on the internet, and you'll get them from us before most people have them. If I look at a meme and I go, oh, everybody, I've seen that before, I'm not going to post that. But some of the newer ones are really good. So check out @Men Are So Smart on Facebook. So the holidays, Tuesday, Christmas Eve, is when we do our Christmas dinner. And traditionally what we do is the prime rib. And
I was not aware that McDonald's served prime rib.
They do.
Just on Christmas Eve?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
If you go in there and cook it yourself. If I haven't mentioned it before, I got to tell you, my wife, she is an excellent cook. Just everything she makes is so good. You know, and as it should be, she caters to my needs and desires.
Well, yeah, you're the man, right?
Right. So, oh, that was absolutely delicious. When you eat prime rib, do you like the horseradish with it?
You know what? We never. If I go out to eat, I get it. But if we make it here, we don't keep any horseradish in the house. Vicky doesn't like it. She doesn't like anything spicy. No.
Oh yeah, that's right. I remember you mentioning that.
She's like unspicy.
Though my name is Gallagher, which is an Irish name, I'm really Polish, and you have to have horseradish with meals. It's the law.
Yeah. You know, we went to... Boy, I wish I could think of where it was. It may have been when I was in Vegas at one of the upper-end restaurants. But I had prime rib.
I remember this. It was like $140 for it.
It was expensive.
Yeah.
Super expensive. Everything in Vegas was super expensive. But their horseradish was cut with something else that just took the edge off, because horseradish can be kind of shocking. It was absolutely perfect.
Wow.
And it was creamier, not quite so pasty like horseradish can tend to be.
Well, you know, somebody asked me about that, Ronnie, about whether we have the creamy or... Oh, my son. Whether it was creamy or just right out of the horseradish bottle.
Right.
And I've had it both ways, but the creamy is best.
This was fantastic, and I really wish I could remember where it was now so I could give him a prop, but it was good. But yeah, if we go out to a restaurant and I order prime rib, I always get me some horseradish.
I just got the notification that we're live.
Hey, good. All right.
10 minutes into the show. I don't know why it's making a noise, because both of them are turned down. I have to have mine on. It's got all my notes on
noises. Then moving away from your gear would help. I wonder if it's
goes through everything and makes static.
Because remember, the GoPro was making a...
Yeah. Oh, you know what I can do? You know what I might could do? I'll get out my cans and plug in here
and see what the hell.
So take it, Ronnie. Talk about something Christmas.
So Christmas Day, it was kind of melancholy for us because we had people here. We had a lot of family here. But my daughter, this was the first year that my daughter spent away for Christmas. She got married a little over a year ago, and she was in San Diego with her in-laws for Christmas. Mm-hmm. And so she couldn't join us, but it was such a beautiful day in this area, and I bought a cornhole game.
Oh, right.
And so we played cornhole, and I was undefeated, by the way. So
you're very competitive. I know that.
You know what? Yeah, screw them 6-year-olds, man. They can cry if they want. It doesn't change the way I approach the game. I'm gonna win.
Well, that's the only way to play cornhole, which is an unusual name for a game.
It had a completely different meaning when we were kids.
It did.
If you got cornholed,
you didn't talk about it much.
Yeah.
Well, that's nice. It's too bad your daughter couldn't be here, but
yeah.
I think we were talking about it the other day how when we were younger and had small kids, we would rotate in the holidays between Thanksgiving and Christmas.
And then when I was actually dating my wife, I spent Christmas Day at my in-laws' house and Christmas Eve at my mom's house, because growing up we celebrated Christmas on Christmas Eve. So
I'll try that. See if that works.
Anyway, growing up, it wasn't really that big of a deal. You know, if I went to my mom's house Christmas Eve, that's the way we'd always done it. Mm-hmm. So it was no big deal. And then once we got married and had kids, we would have in-laws and my mom over whenever they wanted. Mm-hmm. So it worked out.
During the Christmas holiday, my wife and I think I've mentioned, we love to play Name That Artist with Christmas songs.
Oh, okay.
You know, because, I mean, there are so many different versions, from Bing Crosby to Karen Carpenter to Blake Shelton, doing various songs. So we like to play that. So I had mentioned earlier, you know who's not with us?
Jason and Sasha.
What the hell?
Yeah.
WTF?
Yeah. So when you do the Christmas artist one, Who does that song, Ding, Fries Are Done?
Ding, fries are done. Ding, fries are done. Thank you very much, Jimmy Slow-Mo. I think you started something with that.
I did.
You did.
It's addicting.
I never did hear. I haven't heard that before until you said it. So, anyway, okay. So I did get YouTube Premium on a trial.
Dang, you stepped up.
I did.
Well, not yet.
No, it's $15.95 a month, Ryan. That's $150 or more for the year.
Which is $15.95 more than we make a month.
Right.
In this show.
For sure. If you're a YouTube content creator, they ought to be able to give you premium.
There should be some kind of a discount, especially if you're not making any money from your channel.
Thanks to them.
Yeah.
I was going to mention to you that the criteria is you have to have a certain amount of listeners and a certain amount of subscribers in order to monetize. And we have so many more views than you need. We have like 11,000 more views than you need, but only like about 660 subscribers.
Right, which is short.
You have to be at 1,000.
Yeah.
So,
Lou and Ronnie fan says it's a good thing that you and I didn't play cornhole alone in the backyard or behind the shed.
Who says we didn't? So New Year's was very quiet at the Gallagher compound. We don't go out. We don't really have a party. Oh, you know what we did have? Dungeness crab.
Ooh.
And we eat pretty good during the holidays.
Oh, boy.
And it was delicious. I kind of would have rather preferred the Alaskan king crabs, honestly.
Were you up at midnight for
Oh,
New
hell
Year's
no.
Eve?
I'd already been asleep 2.5 hours.
We watched, they had a local thing, I believe Channel 10.
Oh, yeah, with Marcus Allen.
Marcus Allen.
Shout out to Marcus. I'll let him know.
Yeah, Marcus is a good guy. But they had a local thing where in Old Town Sacramento, they lit off fireworks at 9 p.m. And the whole Christmas show kind of ended by 9:30, 10 o'clock down there. We watched that show. It was great. It was a nice show. And it coincides with the East Coast, so it was midnight somewhere.
Well, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
I think they do that for old people. They do the East Coast countdown because they know.
They used to do it. They used to do a 9 p.m. show for kids, and then they would have a second show that ran like 9 p.m. till or 10 p.m. till 1 in the morning. But that was a little too raucous for them.
Too many drunks down in Old Town Sacramento. Yeah.
So they just have canceled that. Some people ruin.
Was there a shooting or something there a couple of years back, and that's kind of what
you know what? That might be what prompted it. That might be the final straw. But it just takes a couple of knuckleheads to ruin it for everybody. And honestly, I prefer it this way.
Yeah.
Everybody's off the roads and they're on their way home by 10 o'clock. That's great.
I know it's after the fact, but I'll tell you this: the best New Year's I think I ever had was when I was hosting a radio station New Year's party, and they do them at hotels so that the hotels can sell rooms.
Oh yeah.
And when you host the party, they pay you a talent fee, plus they give you a room, plus they give you room service.
Oh dang.
And so the cool thing about having a hotel room is when you get tired or bored or you want to go have another drink or whatever, you just go up to your room. You're not exposed to the elements. You're not exposed to drunk drivers.
Holy cow.
That's the only way to go. So if you're a New Year's person and you're thinking about making plans for next year, do that. Find a hotel party. They usually have various ones. And depending on the format of the radio station, they probably have a New Year's party for country music, for pop music, Christian music, whatever the case may be. And find that hotel that does that and get your tickets and have yourself a good old time.
Yeah, you know what? It's not worth it to drive around on New Year's Eve.
Hell no.
It's like St. Patrick's Day. It's amateurs' night.
Yeah.
People that don't drink and drive normally are out there drinking and driving.
Is that the interior shot from Notre Dame before it burned up? I don't know. On my screen it says church, high def.
So
it's the high def church. Church of high def. So New Year, kind of quiet, but that's the way I like it. I mean, younger kids, I know they love to party and stuff, but as a parent, I always worry when my kids are out on a holiday like that.
Yeah, I don't sleep until my kids were home in bed.
Yeah.
It's tough.
It really is. And you know what else, too? It's got to be hard on first responders. Can you speak to that?
They cancel all days off.
Mm-hmm.
If you had vacation planned, well, they don't allow you to take vacation during that time anyway. So unless it's pre-planned way in advance.
Mm-hmm.
But even then, they only give, I don't know, like maybe one person with the most seniority the opportunity to take New Year's Eve off. And they're out there, and if you're driving with your lights off, you're going to get pulled over.
And that's just cause.
Yes. If you are not paying attention, maybe you're looking at your phone and you hit the middle line real quick and then you correct, you're getting pulled over. Any little irregularity with your driving is going to get you pulled over. And a lot of arrests.
Look what Tony writes. Tony Rusi.
Is that it?
The last one.
Oh. Let's see. I only want experienced drunk drivers. Thank you. Yes. That's the way it should be. Yeah, because they know how to drink and drive.
Exactly. They know how to do it right. All right, so there you go. There's our holiday situation. Neither one of us really goes in for the New Year's thing.
No.
Christmas was great. I got a bottle of tequila.
Ooh.
I got some new slippers, which I get every year.
Nice.
I got a couple of cigars, which I've enjoyed one of them so far. I am a lover of a good cigar. Not expensive. I don't go like, oh,
Cubans.
I only smoke the Cuban cigar. That's a bunch of crap. It's just, my grandfather smoked cigars on a regular basis. He smoked Dutch Masters, Presidente.
Oh.
Yeah.
Those are the big fat ones,
they
right?
are.
Aren't they? Yeah.
And growing up, we used to listen to baseball games down in his cellar, and he would drink. What the hell was the name of that beer? It doesn't matter.
Busch. Pabst Blue Ribbon.
That one. So, and then his whole cellar smelled like cigars and stale beer. That's how I grew up, listening to baseball on the radio, Mickey Mantle and Yogi Berra and such. It was very nice. It was quiet. I got a pair of pajama bottoms that I'm enjoying.
I got, and I've been getting for every birthday and every Christmas for the last few years, big dollars worth of Guitar Center gift cards. And I'm trying to save up. There's about a $1,900 Fender Telecaster that I'm kind of pining for.
Oh, it's not the one that I want, is it? It's not that wood grain one? Tell me it's not.
Well, I'm not even so concerned about the finish, but it's got which Telecasters don't normally have a binding going around them.
Oh, right.
It has a binding. And it's called a Telecaster Ultra. And it's got some different circuitry in it. So you can make it sound like a traditional Telecaster, or you can kind of fatten it up a little bit.
So it's $1,900. How much do you have saved up?
I must have about $600.
Oh, okay. Well, you're well on your way.
I have a guitar that I want to sell that's probably worth about $700. So I'm pretty close. Mm-hmm. And then Fender also has a deal. I think they have 0% financing, or at least they did over the holidays. I don't know. It was like for 24 months. So if I could sell that guitar and then put that money and my gift cards towards this, I'd have maybe like $50 a month payments for a couple
I
years.
believe you can afford that.
I could pull the trigger
You
anytime,
swing it.
but yeah.
All right.
But I am trying to kind of save up and do it the right way.
Tony Rusi says, I follow the Homer Simpson driving rule. Always drive half-assed. Then no one can prove anything.
If you always drive bad, how can they tell?
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. Well.
The only thing about driving half-assed is you could spill something.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
If you spill your alcohol.
Yeah. Be sure and mention that to the police officer seated to your right.
Yeah.
Ronnie, we saw something on social media you brought to my attention, which was this thing called mule stickers. Remember?
Yes. Right.
And they had this special going on where you could get 10 stickers for $1.
Right.
Or 99 cents, whatever it was. And you see that logo above our heads? That is our newest logo right there with the gold microphone. And so when I submitted the artwork to them, they wrote back to me that it wasn't the right size. And so...
Isn't that their job to resize it?
That's what I thought, too. Yet, this is what came out. Look at the size of those stickers compared to the size of my bear paw. Look at that.
Are not very big.
There's about 10 or 12 of them in there.
But it looks just like our logo.
It does. I mean, I could put it right up here like this. Oh, it's backside.
It's backwards.
Upside down now.
It's upside down.
There you go.
Yep.
Okay. If you want one of these, let us know. I don't think that we're going to try to sell these because honestly, they're so small. I mean, $1 a sticker, I guess, but until the reason I bring this up is go ahead. We need somebody who is a designer, a graphic artist, to do a logo for us that we can actually blow up and it's going to be vividly clear. So if you or someone who is close to you knows of such a person, please get a hold of us. You can DM me on Messenger, or you can even put the information on our live chat, if you will. I'd like to get that done because we want to get some merchandise out. I'd like to make a few dollars so that we could pay for some of this new equipment that we got.
I have to say, these are nice looking, though. They're small, but they're nice looking. It's really...
All we really need, Ronnie, is somebody to be able to blow up what we already have.
I wouldn't want them like bumper sticker size.
No.
I mean, if they were like maybe 1.5 inches by 3 inches would be about the perfect size. I think big enough because I'm not a big fan of putting stickers on my car.
Oh, hell no, me neither.
Or anything. But if something was small, I would put it someplace, where people could see it. But I know I see a lot of YouTube content people that make these stickers that are, I don't know, like 30 or 40 inches wide and like 3 or 4 inches tall, and they put them on their cars. So they're kind of promoting their show as they drive along. I think you should do that with your car. Not mine.
Oh, you think so?
Not mine, but yours.
Have you looked at your car lately? Looked like Jack Nicholson there. Well, that just seems to be a problem, doesn't it, Ron? So please get a hold of us if you know somebody, or you do it yourself. We just want to be able to blow it up to a point where we could have it on a coffee mug, or we could get some T-shirts going. If you're interested in one of those, please let us know as well. We'll put you on the list. We want to try to keep the cost down. And I have a little bit of money to throw at this. If you're the person, Tony Russi says, what's a Telecaster? Well, that's what your newscasters are called, Telecasters.
It's a Fender guitar. It's
right.
a type of Fender guitar. It's very super popular in the country.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a super distinctive twang that
Keith Urban plays one a lot. Brad Paisley. Most of the lead guitar that you hear in really good country music is on a Telecaster. They've been playing those since the 50s.
Well, and even your rhythm, a lot of times because of that super distinctive. If you heard the sound, you'd go, "That's a Telecaster right there."
Mm-hmm.
Even if you didn't know it, you'd recognize the tone immediately.
My wife loves music, not to the point that you and I do, but she really does love music, and I've been working with her a little bit on being able to pick up this difference in sounds between
single coil and
or a Gibson guitar and a Fender guitar, a Telecaster or a Stratocaster. I don't have a Telecaster, and I really do want to have one. There's this beautiful wood grain one that I've had my eye on now for about 5 years. I think it's about $1,700.
Yeah. You know what? Sledneck makes an excellent point, getting off subject here a little bit. The stickers need our website on them. So next time we do them, menaresosmart.com goes on here somewhere.
Well, Sledneck, should it be our website or should it be our YouTube channel?
Yeah.
Or, I guess, both, but I don't want to... Morning, Jason. There he is.
Hey.
Where's your better half at?
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-oh, what happened?
I messed it up.
Great, Ronnie.
I messed it up.
We need our live chat, please, so we can intermingle with our viewers.
I wonder if I can go back a little.
Oh, boy, here we go. So what do you folks think? Should it be our website or should it be our YouTube page? Or maybe it should say Men Are So Smart on YouTube. That would be very simple.
That seems simple enough.
But honestly, what we really need to have is a graphic designer, and we're not asking to reinvent the wheel. We can send you what we have at this point. We just need to be able to have it blown up to the point where we can put it on T-shirts or coffee mugs or that sort of thing. Think about how great it would be to spend Sunday morning mass with Ronnie and me and be able to drink out of your coffee mug and have a Men Are So Smart coffee mug. And again, we're not looking to get rich here on coffee mugs. Seriously. I mean, a slight profit margin on top of what the cost is. I'm not even talking 30%, which is what retail is.
If we could make enough to pay for the equipment we just bought.
Yeah, that would be nice. I put out a little bit of money, and so has Ronnie. And so that's why we brought that up in the first part of the show. We're
and
hopefully.
now Sasha's here now.
Oh, good morning, Sasha. I hope you had a good holiday.
Yeah.
What happened to you guys? Why weren't you with us at 8 o'clock?
Yeah. What the hell?
We went live at 8 o'clock.
Straight up 8.
Even with the new equipment.
Yes. Yeah. You know what? I think it was easier with this new setup. Because there's no autofocus to turn off.
Nope.
No switching back and forth between YouTube. Whenever we went to YouTube, it would grab the camera. Mm-hmm. And then we'd have to shut down YouTube and go to OBS to broadcast. Oh, it was... it's why we were late so many times. This was seamless. I mean, it just was perfect.
It was kind of funny, too, because in the past, we would have Jason and Sasha dinging us with private messages. Yeah. Why aren't you guys on? How long is it going to be?
Jason is like, he would not even wait until 8 o'clock. Jason,
no.
T-minus 10 minutes.
Are you guys going to be on in 10 minutes?
Thank you, Jason.
Yeah, well, I believe we've gotten over the hump.
Well, you know what? I think if we can do 4 shows in a row on time,
4?
That's the benchmark we want to go for right now. Yeah.
Okay, so there you have it. We've got a lot to get to this morning, not the least of which is that delicious coffee. Store brand, by the way, like Bel Air brand. Okay, what the hell?
Well, Huli says it still sounds like we're in a bowl of Rice Krispies.
Really? Okay. Huh. It sounds okay to me.
Oh, this is last time's show.
What the hell are you doing watching last week's show?
Oh my God! I'm not wearing that.
No, you're not.
Here's
it looks like I am. Except I got a shirt underneath it.
Let's see if I can hear this. No, that's not right. I don't see.
I can't go to the show on my phone, Ronnie.
Here's this one.
Okay.
All right.
Sound. Sounds good to me. Oh, the clicking. What in the hell could that be, Ron?
Huh.
Yeah, sounds like popcorn. Jason, you have any idea what that might be? We've got a new microphone. I'm going to lift this up. There it is.
You know what? See this volume right there?
Yeah.
Turn that all the way down.
This one?
Yeah. Okay, hold on. See this volume right there?
Yeah.
Turn that all the way down.
This one?
Yeah.
No, still there, huh?
No. Wait.
I didn't do it.
Crap.
Great. Okay. It's, you know what I think it is? I think it's that camera.
Wait, we still have 2 volumes up here. What's this volume? Which one? Okay, so turn that one.
How about that one?
What's this volume?
Tools.
Which one? Okay, so turn that one. Wait. That did it.
We did it. All right, on the fly. Oh, wow. Okay. All right, so Ronnie, let's move on. Let's talk about your weight loss.
Yeah. Rusty said to turn off your pacemaker.
That's mine? I thought it was yours.
I'm going to turn
Hey,
this
you know,
off.
speaking of that, I don't know if you know this or not, but I don't think I've ever talked about the fact that I have AFib, atrial fibrillation, and it's not a constant sort of thing. It just happens from time to time. I've reduced my caffeine intake. I drink maybe one soda a day and coffee. I made that concession to my doctor. I promised I would cut down on the amount of Pepsis that I had because the caffeine might have been too much. But anyway, the point is, I got so bad one time, Ronnie, that my heartbeat went to 169.
Dang.
In a minute. And everything they tried, and they admitted me to the hospital, which I never, ever want to go back to the hospital. If I get something else, I'm just going to die with it. I don't ever want to be in a hospital again. And not that I have anything against doctors or nurses or whatever. It's just I hate being in the hospital.
Yeah.
Like anybody likes it.
Right.
But anyway, they admitted me to the hospital, and they tried all this medication through the IV and all this, and it wasn't working, and the heartbeat was still way up there. And, I mean, I couldn't even talk. I was like, you know, they had to paddle me.
Really?
I didn't tell you that?
No.
Yeah, and
Did you have to pay extra for that? Was it a good-looking nurse that paddled you?
No, it was a doctor. Though attractive, he wasn't a her.
This is a different kind of paddle. You're
Right.
You're talking the... Yeah.
Clear. Ba-dunk.
Yeah.
You know, they don't do that, ba-dunk. They do front and back.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And what they do is they give you a medication that takes your heartbeat almost all the way down to 1 or 2.
Damn.
Yeah, and then they zap you. And I was so fortunate that the first time that they did it, it restarted my heart, and it went right to where it was supposed to be, about 75 or 80.
Wow.
And so I don't even know where I was going with this.
I can tell you right now,
Yeah.
my heart rate's 60.
There you go.
But I've been spending a lot of time in the gym since, I don't know, like October.
Well, when it gets to 169, Ron.
Yeah. Well, and I have to tell you that when I am really pushing it at the gym, I'm at about 164. And I know that feeling. It's your heart is pumping.
Slow-mo says, I'd rather go to the hospital than to the morgue.
Yeah.
You know, I'm on the fence there.
Yeah. I mean, flip a coin.
Excuse me.
Neither one is great, but yeah, the hospital's slightly better.
All right, so your weight loss, Ronnie.
So we came back from Hot August Nights, eating buffets 5 freaking days a week, you know, while we were in Reno, and I had ballooned up to 232 pounds.
That's about where I am right now.
So I realized, and then I had gone to the doctor, and he goes, yeah, you need to lose weight. Probably need to cut out carbs and sugars and, you know, use your gym membership. And, you know, you probably try to take off about 15, 20 pounds and see what that does. And so I was at the gym. I was at the gym so much. I was spending 2 and 3 hours at the gym, burning 1,000, 1,500 calories, and the weight was coming off, but it was so slow. It was like, I don't know, I think I lost 4 pounds in the 1 month, and I hadn't really changed my eating that much, and he said cut out carbs, and I said, but carbs taste the best. Everything that's from carbs is amazing. So anyway, I started looking on YouTube and where you get your best medical advice, obviously. And I found this keto diet.
I'm sorry, Cheeto?
Keto.
Okay.
And basically keto cuts your carbs down to next to nothing. It's I'm trying to limit mine to 24 grams per day. And if you pick up, I used to, when I was working for the sheriff's department, my snacks would be these Ritz crackers with peanut butter in the middle, and they come prepackaged. Each package has 40 grams, so that's almost 2 days worth of carbs that I was eating, and I was eating 2 of those or so per day. So you basically cut out pasta, you cut out bread, you cut out
Fun.
Yeah. One of my friends that's on keto and has lost a lot of weight told me, put it in your mouth, and if it tastes good, spit it out. It's not keto. So
Rick, I'm sorry, Sledneck says, waiting for Ronnie to say, that's when I found crack.
It kind of looks like it. But I went from 232 right after we got back from Hot August Nights to this morning I was 201. So 31 pounds since August.
Your goal is to be under 200.
My goal was to be under 200 by New Year's Day. So I missed it on New Year's Day. I was 202.8. So basically 203 pounds. I missed it by about 3 pounds. But you know what? I'm not going to stop once I get to 199. I still feel like I still have weight to lose. And you know what? We've made adjustments with our food. Vicky is kind of doing it a little bit too. We made keto pizza last night, which I missed pizza.
I bet you do. That's your favorite meal.
Pizza to me is my crack. Pizza is my crack. And so you make it out of all keto ingredients. Tastes amazing. My son, who is like, kids they can eat 10,000 calories a day and they don't put on a pound.
Yeah.
He would like to also maybe switch over to keto or, keto on kind of a trial basis. And he's a bit of a pizza snob. He likes Round Table. And Round Table is, I think it's Sacramento or California only, if I'm not mistaken, but could be nationwide. I'm not sure. But Round Table is amazing. He said, well, it's not Round Table, but it's a lot better than Little Caesars. So we made keto pizza last night, and I went and I worked a basketball game. It's just everything that you eat in keto is very filling because it has fat in it. And you would think that if you want to burn fat, you can't take in fat, but it's kind of the opposite is true.
Look who commented, Vicky. What'd she say?
Vicky says he's so strict. Keto pizza better than normal pizza. Yeah, I am strict. And then the other thing I'm doing is what they call intermittent fasting.
Oh, yeah.
So intermittent fasting, the way that 90% of the keto community does it is they do 16 hours of not eating, and then you eat in this 8-hour block. And then once you get done eating, you don't eat again until your next window opens 16 hours from now. Well, there's a little bit more extreme way that you can do that, and they call it the warrior fast. And the warrior fast is 20 hours of fasting and 4 hours of eating. So I try to do my warrior fast from 2 p.m. till 6 p.m. So I'm sorry, I eat right at 2 p.m. I'm full. At 6 p.m. I eat again, and then I don't eat until 2 p.m. the following day. And man, when you do that, and you go to the gym,
right,
and you're on keto,
yeah, and crack,
and a little bit of crack on the side, the weight falls off.
Not that we condone the gym.
Try to avoid the gym at all costs.
Yeah. Well, that's terrific, Ronnie. I'm really proud of you. That's good for you, for sure.
Yeah. Honestly, I can't wait to go back to the doctor. He's going to be shocked because he also struggles with his weight.
Mm-hmm.
He has he's been my doctor for 30 plus years. He's always been a little on the heavy side. He and I have always commiserated over weight and how to keep it off. He goes to the gym on his lunch hour. So when he sees me, I know he's going to be very curious as to what I've done. And he told me before that the keto diet is not the healthiest diet you can be on, because it is. It's a lot of protein and a lot of fat and very little carbs. Mm-hmm. And but everything that I've researched, and I've researched on the internet and also on YouTube, there are numerous doctors that say it is much healthier. It's the way that humans used to eat before they found out you could process grain, and wheat into food. that is the biggest thing right there. Is all the and I loved rice. No more rice. But they make something. It's cauliflower rice, suitable substitute. It's not bad. So it's all good. Hopefully in another week or so, my weight will be, I'll be able to step on the scale and the first number will be a 1. Mm-hmm. And that's what I'm really looking forward to.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what, we're not really worried about time today. We're going to do a Sunday morning mass, and I think that's really all we're going to do for this week. I don't think we're going to shoot any other shows. We're stepping into the new year slowly.
Yeah, kind of dipping our feet in.
Yeah, I don't cherish the idea of having to get back to editing every Sunday. I really don't. So we're not going to worry about the 1 hour. We hope that you'll stay with us for the whole show. Davio says, bye. Where are you going, dude?
Yeah, what?
Yeah, no.
Hey. Yeah, we're going to refuse to release you.
Do you have a note from your mom?
Yeah. Sorry, your release has been revoked.
And I know the dentist isn't open on Sunday, Davio, so you can't go dentist appointment on us. All right, but if you got to go, you got to go.
Here's a new person.
Okay.
Parzival the Wise.
Wow.
You know what? Welcome.
Parzival.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's a name or some sort of a fortune teller in a glass booth.
Or maybe a golfer, something to do. I don't know.
Yeah. Greetings to you.
Welcome. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think this is probably your first time here. We appreciate it.
Tony says waffles call.
They have keto waffles. We just bought keto pancake
mix.
You're
just starting to piss me off now.
They make everything keto. Mm-hmm. And you know what? Walmart now, Walmart and Amazon have keto everything. I was really missing spaghetti. We found keto spaghetti. So, yep. Anything you want.
All right. I've got something that I wanted to. We're going to talk about football, and also we're going to do our Fantasy draft coming up shortly. But we promised that we would add some new segments in this new year of 2020. And I didn't really give Ronnie a heads up on this because we've still been on kind of a Men Are So Smart vacation for a while.
This will be the first that all of us have heard of it except for Lou.
Yeah. Ronnie, do you ever see Jimmy Kimmel when you're up late?
I've watched his show a little bit. He's not my favorite.
Well,
I prefer. I'm a Fallon guy.
I'm a Kimmel guy. Jimmy Kimmel does this thing called mean tweets.
Yes.
Okay.
I have seen that. That's hilarious.
Well, as it turns out, we're going to do something very similar.
We have mean tweets?
Yes. Oh. Here, let me get down to them here. We're going to call it Throwing Mean Shade.
I'm sure these are all emails because we don't broadcast our Twitter addresses.
No, we don't. Okay, so Throwing Mean Shade. Our first one... Actually, both of these are directed specifically at me.
I might have written one, but I'm sorry.
That's all right, Ronnie. I expect that from you. From @Yowihui, Lou seems regularly drunk. Your lack of preparation is your hallmark. Now, I have to say, I find that a little bit offensive, but truthfully, I'm not drunk all the time.
Not all the time.
No.
He's usually well below an 08 when he leaves here.
Oh, for sure.
I breathalyze him before he gets in his car.
0.069.
Yeah.
Regularly
drunk?
Lack of preparation is your hallmark. Thank you. That's very kind of you. I appreciate it.
We try to set the bar low.
Right. That's what we shoot for every week. And our second Throwing Mean Shade this week comes to us from How May I Help You?
Well, that sounds helpful.
Not so much.
It's not. Oh.
Lou is mental. And not in a good way.
You can be mental in a good way.
Can you?
I don't know.
Loves to play radio announcer and hates suggestions.
We don't do suggestions well. No.
Now, a lot of people say, well, why don't you do suggestions? I don't want to beat this thing into the ground. But I can tell you that of all the suggestions that we get, maybe 1 or 2% are airworthy.
Are viable.
Right.
We have done a couple of people's suggestions. So it's not that we're at 100% negative. Mm-hmm. We look at everything, and if something looks good to us, and I think that's our benchmark, mm-hmm. is like, that looks good, we'll do it.
Yeah.
But if it's something that we don't, it's like, no, that's not in our wheelhouse at all. We're not going to do it.
Lou is mental. I don't think of it as mental. I think it is quirky.
You're quirky.
I'm quirky.
You are quirky.
They're just some things that, I don't do change well.
I'm not a big fan of change, even if they tell you, trust me, this is going to be for the best. Mm-hmm. I'm always skeptical of change.
For sure. So I don't warm up to change very well, but mental. Thanks. Appreciate it. So there you go. That'll wrap up Throwing Mean Shade. Ronnie, football talk.
Oh, boy.
Today is January the 5th. And yesterday there were 2 wild card games on. I did manage to watch most of both of them.
One went exactly the way I predicted.
Was that the overtime game?
No.
Oh.
No. Because you know what? Tennessee is a different team once Tannehill started playing. Tannehill, he's good.
He outplayed Tom Brady last night.
Everybody's been outplaying Tom Brady the last few weeks. So I think that they kind of skated with a fairly easy schedule when they got to 12-4, or when they were 12-3. That they really haven't played a lot of tough teams. And
well, some people could say that about your 49ers.
And you know what? And that had been true up until we just faced the Seahawks and beat them. And you know what? We lost to the Falcons. But the Falcons are a tougher team than they were earlier in the year also. So, I mean, there's probably a few teams in the playoffs that have not faced tough competition up to this point. But I was watching a bit of the Buffalo game because I'm playing DraftKings this week.
Oh, that's for money.
Yes, that's for money. And so I was very curious to see how some of my players were doing. And I was killing it. And Buffalo was handling business.
They were.
And then I turned it off and I started getting ready for work. We made keto pizza. And I get to work and they said, yeah, Buffalo lost. I'm like, no, they were handling their business. They could not have lost. No, they lost. Like, that's crazy.
Lou and Ronnie Fan 500 says Ron picked Brady in the fantasy draft over Montana.
That is true, which I now honestly regret.
Yeah.
My wife won't let me live that down.
I'm sure.
Yep.
So your 49ers have a bye.
Yes.
Or they are bye. I'm not sure what that means. So you don't play till next weekend.
Right.
It was kind of sad, that Tom Brady thing last night. It was like...
It could be the end of an era.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't think he'll retire. I believe he thinks he can keep playing.
Till 45, and he's going to be 43 this year.
Yeah, and you know what? If he had... He's got a tough go. He's really only got Edelman to throw to, and I think he threw to his tight end a couple times. That's about all his reliable receivers. You know, they have Mohamed Sanu, who I've had in my fantasy team before, who's amazing. He just can't seem to get open with the Patriots. I don't know what the problem is there. I don't know if he was in a... I don't know. But anyway... They've got one reliable receiver, and that's tough. So,
Evelyn Curry says, you heard it here first, Brady and offensive coordinator going to Dallas. I foresee possibility of him going to Denver.
Oh, and you know what? I foresee the possibility of him going to the Jets.
God, we could use him. You know, you notice that I don't have a whole lot of input in this football talk because I have no horse in the race.
Right, yeah.
Both of my New York teams are watching from a beach somewhere.
Yeah. Well, and you know, as good as Darnold was, and which is to not say great. He's the Baker Mayfield of New York, which tons of upside, huge potential. For whatever reason, he just can't. He hasn't put it together. And you know what? Isn't Denver the dude that has that kid Locke right now?
Yeah.
He is amazing. I don't see him going to Denver. I think Denver is going to roll with Locke.
Texas T says Chicago needs a quarterback.
Yeah, there's a lot of teams that need a quarterback.
They still have Jim McMahon, don't they?
They should.
Maybe I should watch them a little more. All right, so there's football talk. Good luck to your 49ers next weekend, Ronnie.
Yeah, well, I think we play the lower seeded of the remaining teams. So, not that we're going to have a cakewalk no matter who it is. All the teams coming in are going to be tough. But, man, you know what? Well, we'll see. I don't even want to make a prediction over who it's going to be.
Okay. I think no, I'll skip that. Save that for later. I think we'll do our fantasy draft right now.
Okay.
You know, this is called Men Are So Smart. So many of the topics that we do are male influenced. But I think, although this is a little salacious, this category, look that word up. The fact is, I think men and women can weigh in on this. And so I know what it was. Somebody told me, it was Roxanne.
Oh, yeah,
Roxanne.
Yeah.
She said, Lou,
Yes.
What do you have on your phone that you keep hiding from Ronnie?
Oh. His fantasy draft picks.
That's what it is. It's nothing else. It's just my fantasy draft picks.
Yeah.
All right, so today, the category in fantasy draft will be best stripper names. Yeah, I said it. Okay, and so
I've promised not to use any of my friends' real stripper names.
Please don't, okay?
Yeah.
Because I don't need that kind of attention. Can you imagine me as a stripper? I know that's an image you didn't want.
I think your name would be Crotchety Crotch. Yeah.
I'll tell you something. You may not know this, but when I went to Salt Lake City to do radio back in 1989, 88 or 89, I can't remember, I had an agent there that was getting me all kinds of work in addition to what I was doing on the radio. And there's a story about how I auditioned for a Good Morning Salt Lake City show.
Oh,
this is back before they even had Regis and Kelly.
Oh, damn.
Or Regis and Kathy Lee, rather.
Right.
And so they were going to do a show that was called Good Morning Salt Lake City. My agent was getting me commercials, and I was in movies as an extra. Did you know that she contacted Playgirl magazine? I was in the best shape of my life.
Oh, wow. Holy cow.
I was 30, maybe 31, and I was working out, 3-4 times a week, and watching my diet carefully, certainly a lot more carefully than I do now. Do you know that Playgirl magazine sent me a submission to pose in their magazine?
Dang.
Who knew?
I know that picture of you leaning against your Fiat.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You were built like a brick shithouse
I was.
without a single brick missing.
Right. That was a long time ago, Ryan.
Yeah.
That was 45 years ago or so.
Yep.
In any case.
That's why it was always good, as being a band geek, it was good having you as a buddy in high school.
Yeah. You never had anything to worry about.
Nope.
No, that's for sure.
Do you remember Ed Anderson?
Yeah, I do.
Ed Anderson was also one of my good buddies, and he was a big guy.
So you were using me is what you're telling me.
Yeah, if you want to call it that.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. So stripper names. Ronnie, we got to do rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let me get in the shot here. Okay. What am I going? I know what I'm going. Ready? Here we go.
Yep. Oh, man.
How do you feel about that one?
Man, I think I've lost 2 times in a row now.
You have. That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
It seems like forever since we've done one of these shows.
Whew.
Okay, I'm going to go first. I will not defer. In stripper names, I am going to pick what I believe to be the most popular one.
Okay.
Remember, you're going to vote on who wins this. Oh, I left the trophy in the car.
Ruh-roh.
Ah, crap.
Yeah, well, I think I won last time anyway. I did.
You did.
So I don't have to say goodbye to the trophy this week.
My first pick in the first round, it might as well stay in my car because that's where it's going home. Okay. I'm going to take Crystal.
Oh, okay.
According to my research, that is far and above the most popular stripper name. And there are variances in how you spell that. You can spell it with a K. You can,
Yeah.
So Crystal.
Starting off with an XY.
Yeah. All right. So there you go. Crystal is my
right.
first pick. Ronnie, you have two coming.
I'm going to go with cinnamon.
Okay.
As in cinnamon buns.
That's a good one.
And then candy.
Okay. I know a candy, by the way.
A candy cane. That's the candy I know you're familiar with.
Yeah. All right. So Ronnie has picked candy, and you picked, what was the other one?
Cinnamon.
Cinnamon. All
Yep.
right. So now I'll go and I'll take my next two picks. Oops, my phone shut off. There we go. This is going to be tough for me. I did have candy in my list. I'm going to take Destiny, and I'm going to take Chastity.
Oh,
and not Bono. That's not a stripper I'm going to pay any money for.
Chastity seems like the least, the stripper I want to see the least.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, so I have Crystal, I have Chastity, and I have Destiny.
Okay.
And that's my threesome or foursome.
My last one.
Okay.
I'm not going to go with Jimmy Fast's suggestion of Sasha.
That's rude.
Yeah, that wouldn't be right.
Although it was on a list.
I'm sure it is. Every name, honestly, is on a stripper name list.
JT says Bubbles.
You know what?
Oh, you're kidding. You're going to take Bubbles?
Because I'm struggling for a name.
Okay, here's a list right here.
Oh, I see. Stormy.
Okay.
Stormy
Daniels.
Yeah, comes to mind.
All right, so let's regroup here. I went first. I picked Crystal.
Yep.
And then I picked Chastity. And then I picked Destiny.
Yep.
That's my team. Ronnie, yours?
So I went with a couple of food items: cinnamon,
candy,
and then Stormy.
I think you should have gone with Cinnabon. No, cinnamon buns is good.
God dang.
Or cinnamon rolls.
Yeah.
All right, vote for us now on the live chat,
Yep.
okay? Let us know who wins this week and who takes home the trophy.
Hooley says Pearl. And Honey. Oh, Evelyn. That's also a good one.
The other ones I didn't choose, Rhapsody, Ivory, and I think the rest have been used.
Yeah.
You took Stormy.
Yep.
Okay. All right, so vote now. Who wins in this week's fantasy draft for stripper names? And we'll keep you posted on how that's going.
Jay Street says Ronnie won.
Ronnie won?
Yep.
How?
He has a sweet tooth.
Oh.
Yep.
I'm not a big fan of cinnamon.
Cinnamon.
But I'll make it rain for Crystal.
Give me title of the gold says, give it to Ronnie.
What the hell?
Thank you.
I did all the research. I even shared one with him. This is what my grandson does when I ask him to do something.
Yeah, not so much.
All right.
Yeah, I really think cinnamon and candy, those are strong. Those are strong.
Oh, I don't know.
And boy,
cinnamon never crossed my mind. I've never. Somebody said that at work the other day. They said to me, "Did you?" One of our truck drivers was delivering CO2 to a place called the Embers, and I go, "Is that on Auburn Boulevard?" No, it's downtown. I go, "Well, how would I know? I haven't been to a strip club in 30 years."
I think the Embers is on Auburn Boulevard.
I thought it was.
Rick Clemenson says that I win.
What do you people got against me? Do I have to
see.
start drinking again to prove a point?
Evelyn says she has to vote against cinnamon, so you win.
Oh, good. Thank you.
Let's see. Oh, ginger. That was also. I could have gone all food and been ginger.
Yeah.
Cinnamon.
I'll remind you of my picks once again, people. Crystal, Chastity, and Destiny. Okay, those are solid, especially the any ones.
Candy, amber, and cinnamon And her Texas Tea says, I have a candy, amber, and cinnamon in the family.
Oh, no offense.
Ruh-roh.
None taken. All right.
And then Hooley says, I think Ronnie won, but not picking Bubbles was foolish.
He contemplated it.
I was right there.
Yeah.
I was right there.
Bubbles makes me think of a girl in a big martini glass.
Lori says that Ron wins with candy. Ginger is better than cinnamon.
You people don't understand. Crystal is the #1 stripper name of all time.
Maybe it's just been overdone.
I guess.
You know.
But I thought it was so strong because I thought about deferring on this one and letting you go first.
And then Jimmy Slomo says Chastity has the herp.
Oh, no.
So, yeah. So,
well,
steer clear.
Of the poll, for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Ronnie, I'm going to yield to you. I'm going to say that you won this week. Good job. I'll get the I'll get the trophy and leave it here again this week.
Thank you.
Okay.
I think I'm deserving. Crystal math.
Crystal math? Okay. Jimmy, you seem to know a lot about strippers, says Sasha.
It's a coincidence.
Yeah, nothing more.
No.
All right, let's see. Here's a note that I wrote to myself while commuting the other day. If any of you are country music fans, you know that I am, and there's a song out right now in the country that's on the country charts. Country artists Dan and Shay, relatively newcomers. I think they were new Entertainer of the Year or something last year, new Artist of the Year. This year they have a song out with the Biebs.
Oh, wow.
Justin Bieber.
That's a crazy crossover.
And it is, and it's being played on country radio. It's called 10,000 Hours. It's a love song, and the video is actually kind of cute. It has their each one of their own significant others. And math, make America think harder. It's called 10,000 Hours. And you got to hear it because they sing about, I'm going to give you 10,000 hours of my time. So I did the math. Speaking of math.
How long is that? What's that translate
466 days. That's perfect.
Wow. Holy cow. Yeah.
So for 2 years, that's how long that relationship's going to last. Evidently, Justin Bieber on the country charts is not something I ever wanted to say. Okay, so, Ronnie, I found this article, The Biggest Pop Culture Moments of the Decade.
Oh, man, we should have probably done maybe we still can, the biggest moments, something on a regular show.
2010.
Oh, okay.
Bieber fever became a full-blown epidemic starting in January upon the arrival of a song called Baby, after which the condition spread unchecked. Justin Bieber himself couldn't always handle the pressures of the spotlight, as evidenced by his many antics in the mid-10s, but the Beliebers, never gave up and have rewarded Sorry the Despacito remix, A Baldwin Marriage, for their loyalty. In 2010, NBC brought back Jay Leno.
Oh.
They had Conan taken in as at the desk, and they decided, nope, sorry, we're going to bring Leno back. What an insult.
Yeah, because he was kind of promised that show.
Yeah, he was for a long time.
And you know what? I love Conan.
So do I.
I think he's hilarious.
I do too.
I don't know if it's his writers or him, but somebody there is unbelievably creative.
Well, I believe in terms of his writers, he's one of them because he wrote many of the episodes of The Simpsons.
Oh, damn. Well, that explains why I like The Simpsons so much.
Lady Gaga wore meat to the MTV Music Awards.
And you know what? I worked a Lady Gaga concert. Well, my dog did most of the work. We cleared Sleep Train Arena before a Lady Gaga concert, and my dog was very interested in one particular locker that held some clothing, and then her security guy said, that's where the meat suit is.
Oh.
So it's a good thing my dog didn't get to it, because my dog could have eaten her wardrobe that night.
I have some advice for you if you're a criminal watching our show. If you're being chased by a police dog, try not to go through a tunnel then onto a little seesaw, and then jump through a hoop of fire. Because they're trained for that.
Yeah, they do that.
Don't do that.
That's you're falling right into their wheelhouse.
You don't need that. Nobody does. All right. Speaking of police dogs. Okay, let's see. What happened to the rest of my article here? Crap. It's not on here.
Crap.
Oh, I know. You got to do this right here.
Oh.
2011. Future King Prince William marrying Kate Middleton on April 29th.
Yep.
A jolly respite from more pressing global issues, a windfall for local business as tourists flooded into town, and the official passing of the attention torch to the young royals.
Boy, it doesn't seem like it's been that long ago even.
2011 had Seth Meyers hosting the White House Correspondents' Dinner, and he made some choice Donald Trump jokes, which seemed innocuous enough at the time.
Yeah.
Not so much anymore.
Yep. No.
Adele's 21 came out in January.
That's a great album.
Let's see.
It's not an album. That's a great set of songs.
Unto every generation, a child is born. And that child was Blue Ivy Carter. But first, Beyonce confirmed her pregnancy at the 2011 MTV VMAs in regal fashion. Kim Kardashian filed for divorce from Chris Humphries in 2011.
It was only like 46 days.
They said it wouldn't last.
They made it past that 1 month mark.
It was 72 days.
72.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
And in 2011, the Oprah Winfrey Show ended after 25 years.
I think we had our fill of Oprah.
In 2012, one of the earlier signs of K-pop's global influence, Psy's Gangnam Style, had millions galloping in place, and on December 12th became the first video to reach 1 billion views on YouTube. We're very close to that right now.
Who would know that something that ridiculous could garner that much attention?
50 Shades of Grey was self-published by first-time author Twilight fan E.L. James.
I remember that.
But this was the year Vintage Books took charge and banged out the whole trilogy. Some sad news. A new level of devastation was reached in 2011. Did I say 2011? I meant 12.
Oh.
When 12 people were killed in a shooting at a movie theater in Aurora, Colorado during a midnight screening of The Dark Knight Rises.
Right. Yep.
That doesn't seem that long ago.
Dang. He's still going through... No. I think he's... God dang, I can't even remember if he's been found guilty or still going through trial.
2013. 2 words. Royal baby.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The first of... They've had 2 now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Jennifer Lawrence started the year by winning a Best Actress Oscar for Silver Linings Playbooks.
Not a fan of Jennifer Lawrence's.
I like her. At 22, she became the second youngest woman to win in the category. You know who the first one was? Jodie Foster.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
Wow. For maybe Silence of the Lambs?
Yes, I think it was.
Probably.
Disgraced cyclist Lance Armstrong had already been stripped of his record 7 Tour de France titles, but sitting down in January with Oprah to confess his doping sins was a study in discomfort we didn't soon forget. You may remember in 2013, Beyonce chose to lip sync the national anthem at President Barack Obama's second inauguration, but she proved in slick fashion at a press conference soon after that she had to sing the song. Never mind. Surely Miley Cyrus twerked at the VMAs and prompted a little pearl clutching, but she also came in like a wrecking ball. Did you ever see that video?
I have seen that video,
Yeah.
and you know what? I have to say that I put Miley Cyrus on the same level as Justin Bieber.
Yeah.
Too much drama, not enough singing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a fan of either one.
In 2014, Oscars host Ellen DeGeneres broke the internet with the all-star selfie she had the long-armed Bradley Cooper snap mid-ceremony.
That's right. I do remember that.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's kind of a tradition for her. Does it everything she goes to, she posts these gigantic selfies like that.
Let's see. That's Amore. Kim Kardashian and Kanye West threw the wedding of the year in Italy. That was until George Clooney married Amal Alamuddin
yeah.
in Italy a few months later. And podcasts had been around for years, but Serial was downloaded 68 million times in a few short months and turned countless people into true crime podcast and true crime podcast junkies.
Huh.
We should mention that our show is available on podcast.
Yes, it is.
Wherever you get your podcast, do a search for Gallagher Entertainment, and you'll find that.
But you don't get this
right
on the podcast. But some people would say that's a plus.
I would.
So, yeah.
Yeah. 2015, the world first met Caitlyn Jenner. Please just go away. Please.
They took a freaking gold medal Olympic
Wheaties box cover
and turned him into a woman.
Mm-hmm.
The Kardashians are the worst.
Whoops. I didn't mean to do that. Okay, so that was 2015. Moving into the second half of the decade, the deaths of David Bowie and Prince jolted us out of our Some People Just Live Forever alternate universe. Beyonce rewrote the rules yet again with Lemonade, her second straight surprise album that delved deep into the experiences of black women and themes of family, trust, lust, infidelity, spirituality, and strength. In 2016, the world went mad for Pokemon Go.
Okay, so we went to Sequest, which is a local aquarium. They have them all throughout the United States. I don't know, there's half a dozen or so. We went to Sequest Folsom last week, I think, last Saturday. And afterwards, we went to Starbucks. Vicky wanted a coffee. And as we're there, we see everybody walking around doing this.
Mm-hmm.
And Vicky goes, "Oh, they must be doing Pokemon." I said, "No, that's dead." And so finally we ran into kind of a middle-aged woman, and Vicky goes, Are you finding Pokemon?" And she goes, "Yeah, there's a gym or something right around here." And it's like, oh my God, that hasn't died yet. They're still doing Pokemon.
It's worth it to just see the looks on Lou's face live streaming. Yeah, I've always been known for having quite a bit of expressions. 2017, Obama's out.
Okay.
Seacrest out.
Yep.
Let's see what else happened that year. Nothing really very good. Here we go. Within a few months, there were some people that fell victim to the hashtag #MeToo movement.
Oh, yeah.
Including Matt Lauer.
Oh, yeah.
Charlie Rose, Mario Batali, Kevin Spacey, and Louis C.K. Man, he went away.
Yeah. I mean, all those people were huge. They weren't up and coming. They were huge. And now you don't hear from them at all. That Mario Batali.
Mm-hmm. Mario.
Big cooking show. I used to watch it a little bit. I can't remember what the name of it was. It was, I don't know, Oregano or Crusher or something. But a very good cooking show. And yep, they took him off the show for a couple weeks, and then the show was just gone.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it had devastating effects. The Fire Festival. Did you ever hear about that? FYRE Fire Festival?
No.
It failed spectacularly. This is in 2017. With would-be concert goers who'd paid thousands of dollars for a VIP experience advertised on Instagram, arriving in the Bahamas to only find waterlogged tents, not enough food, and worst of all, no music. That guy's in jail now. The guy that did that.
Dang. Yeah.
2018. We're recapping the decade for you. I'm trying to find. The marriage of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle was the event of the year as the tradition-obsessed British royal family. I'm so sick of them.
You know what? I don't really care about them. We have our own first family here. Why are we so concerned about that family?
I don't know. It's drama, I guess.
Yeah.
ABC brought Roseanne back, and it was wildly successful. Then Roseanne Barr tweeted. And now the show is The Connors, and matriarch Roseanne Connor is no more.
And I have to tell you, I've tried watching a few episodes, It's not good. I don't enjoy the show.
I have no desire. I love Dan.
You know what? He's great. I love him in almost everything he does, but not even he can save this show.
A labor of love, 4 years in the making for first-time director Bradley Cooper. The fourth iteration of A Star Is Born finally hit theaters that year and plunged right into the Oscar-winning Shallow with Jackson and Allie, star-crossed lovers played by Cooper and the meat dress lady, Gaga, the Gaganator.
Gaga.
Sorry.
Lady Gaga.
Accent on the second A. Who will alternately be the beginning and end of each other. Yeah. They both had relationships break up over that.
Yep.
And
then, although, from what I'm not into pop culture at all, but I'm told that they're not a thing. So, well, these guys are talking about the thrill of the chase.
Oh.
How dare you?
We can't control what you talk about on a live chat. And yes, we are talking about the decade from 2010 until 2019. Game of Thrones premiered in 2011, and over the course of 8 seasons, endlessly entertained, sometimes disgusted and distressed, and ultimately confounded audiences with its polarizing final episode. Everybody was talking about GOT.
Hey, do you watch it?
No.
Oh my God. I was clinically depressed for about 3 weeks after the last show. God dang, it was a good show. And it took me a while to get into it. My son-in-law and daughter watched it, and they went every single week. They watched it, and then they have the whole off season, and they couldn't wait for the new season. I did the binge watch thing where I would watch one show every day, Monday through Friday, and there were typically, I think, 10 episodes in a season, so I could get through a season in 2 weeks, and it was pretty epic.
The landscape was already crowded, but this year in 2019, it somehow made room for the launch of Apple TV Plus. The spotlight was then promptly stolen by Disney Plus.
Yep.
Which reportedly poached 1 million subscribers from Netflix. And that's just people losing their minds over Baby Yoda.
Yeah, that's the whole Mandalorian thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, so there you go. A little pop culture talk. That's what we experienced on a regular basis over the last decade or so. And I got to say, I think that older that you get, the less you pay attention to pop culture, but you're surrounded by it. You know?
Can't help it. If you turn on the TV, you're going to hear it. If you listen to the radio, you're going to hear it.
Whoops, that's not what I wanted.
I'm not, like you said, I'm just not, man, I think maybe it's just because I'm so anti-Kardashian that all the rest of pop culture suffers because of it. So
Evelyn Curry says content. It's all about content delivery.
Yep. Oh, all right. Tony Russi says Witcher is the best. So Witcher is supposed to be the newer and better Game of Thrones. So it's on Netflix. I have it in my queue. I haven't watched the first episode yet, and I believe it's been out about, they must be on episode 2 or 3 at least.
Hooli says no cable here. YouTube and Hulu is more than enough. And okay, so you know what? Let's talk about this right now.
Tony says Fenn hid the chest at Burning Man. That's not in the Rockies, I don't think, but it could be. I don't know.
I'm trying to picture Forrest Fenn at Burning Man. This doesn't strike me as being that type of person. We should probably talk about the elephant in the room. You know, when it comes to the Fenn treasure, we do not deny, and we certainly appreciate the attention that we garnered on this particular YouTube show with our Fenn treasure episodes. And that's not to say that in this new decade we won't be doing more Fenn. I'm working with a person right now who has a very, very interesting approach to what took place in the Glen Coghlan discovery or lack thereof.
Right, or his solve with nothing at the end.
It must have, it's disappeared.
Right.
Someone took it.
The Vanished. And if you haven't watched that episode, it's called The Treasure Has Vanished.
Yeah, I'll try to put a link to that below here. I should have some time this afternoon while I'm watching some football. We are still very interested in the Fenn treasure.
Absolutely.
What we're not interested in is rehashing a bunch of old stuff.
Right.
At this particular time of year, you would have to be an Eskimo to be able to find the treasure, I would think.
No one's getting it until April, maybe, at the earliest.
Oh, I don't even know about that. I bet it's closer to May, Ronnie.
Yeah.
I understand that they've been hit really hard in the Rocky Mountains this winter with a lot of snow. We're not really digging and digging and digging, if you'll pardon the pun, to find treasure to present to you at this point.
We're not searchers. We're not boots on the ground. If anything, we're barely researchers. We get most of our information from watching other YouTube content and reading on, Googling things, listening to podcasts about it. That's where we get our info. That's where everybody who's not boots on the ground is getting their info, is from the internet.
On the radio show that I do, I should mention that. I do a show that you can watch from anywhere in the world. You can listen to it live on the website of the radio station where I work. It's 1015khits, KHITS.com. There you'll also find podcasts of the show. There's hundreds of them. And yesterday we had a player in the game. We play a game on there called What's in the Sweet Loose Toolbox. And I bring an item from the Gallagher Compound Garage and I drop it on the counter and make the sound if it makes a sound. And we had a person yesterday who was a security officer and less listener of the year in the first week of the show in the year. What he said really caught my eye, and I think it really pertains here. He said he was a security guard, and his job was to observe and report.
Right.
That's what we do. We observe and we report.
Yep.
We're not analyzing the poem. And
we have the book. We've read it several times.
Many times, actually. I have it in my car. Sometimes I read it at lunchtime. When the seasons start changing a little bit, I think you'll start seeing us do a few more shows. People all but have stopped sending us their solves.
Yep.
And quite honestly, we're okay with that.
Yeah, some of them are a little bit out there. Some of them are interesting. I read a couple are like, you know what? I mean, if I had some free time and a plane ticket, I might go check this one out. But for the most part, they tend to either glance over a couple of the clues. Oh, this one's not that important, or leave it out completely. For me, for it to catch my attention, I have to have something solid with every clue. It's like, this one's part of this one. I don't know. Maybe not.
Give Me Title to the Gold says winter weather does not matter. I beg to differ on that one.
I think it does. I think it's covered with snow.
Unless it's in a house in the Rocky Mountains.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
I don't know.
You know what, though? Ronnie and I mentioned this last summer. I think we do have some interest in attending Fenbury this year.
That would be a kick in the pants.
I think we would enjoy that.
Yep.
Ronnie and I, on our bucket list right now, is that we would really like to spend a little time with Mr. Fenn. And he was kind enough to spend a lot of time at Fenbury this last year.
And he threw us out an invitation.
He did, as a matter of fact. I forgot about that, Ron.
Yep.
So maybe we will do that. We might have to do a little fundraising in order to pull that off. But I'm willing to spend some of my vacation time on that. To Don't worry, Joe Treasure Hunter says he found it and left it, says Anon.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
That was big of him.
Yeah. He's selfless.
Yeah.
Selfless, I tell you, Joe Treasure Hunter.
Good job, Joe.
Yeah.
He's not your average Joe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Read my comment above that. One of the soldiers, they put their boots on the ground. Okay, that's all right. All right.
Yep.
So there you have our Fen talk right now. If I can pull this off, this research that I'm doing with this particular viewer who has the information, I will bring you that show, but we're not going to half-ass it. This last summer, I experienced something that I never want to experience again. I had a person who was kind of a, what's the word I'm looking for?
Protagonist.
Yeah, and kind of hinky.
Yeah.
And this person sent me their solve after I asked them to detail and lay out exactly divert the $140 stake fund.
Yeah, well.
And so we told his story. I think it was called A Possible Solve.
Right.
And after doing all of the editing and all of the putting together of the story and presenting it to you, our beloved viewers.
As best we could, because it was still a bit jumbled.
Sketchy.
Yeah.
And then that person had the audacity to tell me that I left stuff out and I didn't tell the story right.
Right.
And then after I explained to him exactly what had taken place, he said to me, well, I understand that is my fault. Yeah, well, we're not doing that again.
No.
So in terms of solves that we will entertain, as Ronnie said, there is a criteria now.
Yeah.
I guess as you grow as a YouTube show or as a Fen Treasure show, what you understand and what we didn't, and we were somewhat naive, I guess. We learned some lessons the hard way along the way. And so now we have a criteria, whereas if you'd like to send us our solve, we're certainly open to viewing it and listening to it, reading it, etc. But you're going to have to take all of the clues and give us all of your solves with all of the details, map coordinates if that's the case.
You supply the pictures.
Exactly.
I mean, it's... and this guy has gone a little bit crazy now also. So, yeah, it's...
And then, in this last year, there was the person who contacted us and said that he had found the treasure, Ron.
Yes.
And sent us a picture.
Right.
Ronnie, being the investigator that he is, tell him what you did.
So, there's a thing on Google where you can... I took the picture that he sent me, and I just threw it out to Google and said, check and see if this picture is anywhere else on Google. And it was. The exact picture was on a Forrest Fen forum, and it supposedly was taken by Forrest Fen before he buried before he hid the treasure.
I was going to say buried. Oh,
before he hid it. And then he actually went through and opened it up, and he had a couple gold watches in there.
Right.
And he pulled the gold watches out, but didn't retake a picture apparently, and then closed it up and then hid it. So the picture that we got from this person who found it, the gold watches were still in the picture.
Mm-hmm.
And so I gave him that little tidbit of information and said, hey, Forrest says there's no watches in the treasure. What about the watches that are in your picture? And then he kind of stumbled around the answer, didn't really have a good answer for that. And he said, I've just turned it, I don't even know what's in it. I've turned it over to an auction house.
Right.
It's going to be separated up. And
this person was telling this as if it were, he was telling the story verbatim as if it were gospel, and believed in it so much that after I realized what was going on, I had some concerns for this person's mental stability.
Well, and the thing that
Talk about being mental.
Yes. The thing that bothered me the most was he was saying, oh, it was pretty easy when you follow the clues. The Fen people that can't find it, they're not that bright. Like, you know what? I'm not so sure that that's correct. I think that most of the Fen people that are serious searchers are pretty smart. It's just that the poem is, and I've said this a dozen times, it's written vaguely enough that there really isn't even a consensus as to where to start your search, in which state. There's no real consensus. I know that the one show that our arch enemies that called us pasty white guys,
Oh, yeah.
they have changed the state that they believe it's in. They've changed it up. So now all those people they called foolish for looking in the state that they were looking, or that they weren't looking in. They haven't retracted their words yet, but yeah.
Well, Baba Ganoush says, when are we starting the Thrill of the Chase, the musical? You know what? We gave up on that. What we're working on, Ronnie and I, right now, is the Thrill of the Chase on ice.
Yes.
That's what we're working on right now
hit
for 2020.
Yeah. We're going to open for Disney on Ice. Yeah.
I bet 2 of these Fen Treasure streams are going to start getting sued left and right if they keep up their foolishness.
I think I know one of them that they're talking about that could be open for that.
Anon says the Fencapades.
Yeah, so we'll see. You know what? 2020's new year. Let's see what it holds for the Fen. I hope beyond hope that it's found this year.
So do I. Well, we said that last year, Ronald.
But I really feel like 2020 is the year. You know.
And you know, that begs the question also, does Fen want it to be found?
I think we had a whole show about that, and there are differing opinions. Some people say they just he wants it to be a 1,000-year thing where people are looking for it and talking about it 1,000 years from now, whereas some people said, no, I think he'd like it found during his lifetime. That's my opinion. My opinion is, if I hid something like that, I would want somebody to find it while I'm still alive. So,
well, the jury's still out. You know, the whole basis for this, it was to get people outdoors and give them hope. That's it in a nutshell.
Yep.
In troubling times.
He's done that in spades. There's people out there. You could still go on YouTube and you can still find people every weekend out there looking for the treasure, spending hours and hours wandering around, and I think it's marvelous. People are taking in. I mean, I think the United States has got to be probably the most beautiful country in the world, and so enjoy it. You know,
and at the same time, if you're a searcher / researcher, don't spend so much time in the house.
Right.
You know?
Yep.
Please don't become a recluse in your taking on all of this information and trying to decipher it as well. And I don't mean cipher, I mean decipher.
I know one of our viewers, Christine Kenzie.
Oh, yeah.
She comes up with some solves. And one of them she sent it to me. Could be viable. I don't know. But she's not a researcher. She has some physical limitations that won't let her go out and search herself. Well, she found a team of 2 guys. They're going to take the search that I thought is the most viable, and they're going to run with it. But they don't plan on going out until late spring, early summer. So,
Give Me Title says, my hang-ups are, how much are the interviews with Forrest truthful? If he says 85% truth, 15% not.
Right. And how do you know which is which?
Right.
He's a crafty dude. You know what?
He's a crafty one, Mr. Fen. All right. We're coming towards the end of our allotted time here. I think our camera goes dead at 2 hours. So if there's anything that you'd like to ask us right now, where are we at?
We're at about $1.30.
Okay, if there's anything that you'd like to ask us, we're going to open it up right now to our live chat. It doesn't have to necessarily be Fen related.
Nope.
If there's anything you've wanted to know about either one of us, please feel free to get those questions in. He's a maverick, as he puts it. Yeah, that's what he is.
Yep.
A Ford Maverick.
And then Rusty Nipples, and I believe this is 100% true. Everything Fen says, pre-planned.
He's a very wise man.
Yeah, I don't think he says anything off the cuff.
Although, Ronnie, you'll remember when it came to addressing our wanting him on our show,
right?
One of the things, and I don't think I'm letting anything out of the bag or getting too personal, but one of the things that he's concerned about, and one of the reasons he's kind of cut down on the number of interviews that he does, is that he's afraid he's going to slip up and say something that he shouldn't, and mainly because due to his age.
Right.
And so, out of respect, we understand.
Well, and that's why I offered to pre-send him the questions we would ask, because that is what I feel. I feel like he comes up with a response that he's going to be, giving to the crowd. And so to avoid any spur of the moment thing that he would just have to blurt something out, if we gave him the questions we were going to ask a month in advance, he could write a script for everything he wanted to say. And for Evelyn, her question is, what kind of shoes are you wearing? I'm wearing these right now.
You wear Nikes? I thought you didn't like Nike.
I don't like, but I'm not going to throw them away.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to wear them until they're worn out, and then I haven't bought any new Nikes in a long time. First of all, they're not for old men feet. They're for kid feet. So I'm kind of all about New Balance now, and New Balance is made in the USA.
Sledneck says, how many times have you guys read the book now? 3 for me.
I think I'm just at twice.
Okay.
So.
Do you have boots on the ground? No. Tennis shoes.
Yep. No Nikes on the ground either.
Uh-huh.
Thank you, Evelyn.
Very high school? What?
Yeah, they are. they're high school.
Oh, your shoes?
Yeah. In fact, I worked a high school basketball game last night. Nobody had these shoes on. They were pricey when I bought them.
Tony LaRusse says, if you can't catch catfish and brown trout at the stay home and have tuna fish. I love tuna fish.
Evelyn Curry says Chuck Taylors. You know what? I have some Chuck Taylors. Maybe I'll wear those next week.
Okay, it's a deal.
Yep.
After 10 years under the microscope, does Forrest have any guts left? Guts? I don't know, but I can imagine with all the crazy people in this crazy world, I may have said this before, but this has probably gotten to the point where he really can't even leave the house. I imagine people follow him.
Yeah.
Secretly, undercover, if you will.
Yep.
Going to the grocery store, hoping to run into him, hoping to maybe spring a question on him that he's not prepared for. And that's not right. The man deserves his privacy.
That's not the way you want to spend the last years of your life.
Absolutely not.
Yep. Yep.
Ronnie is getting younger right before our eyes.
I think it's I think maybe it's just my wife says your face is skinny. I saw somebody at the high school game that I worked at last night, and she goes, "Did you get a haircut or there's something different about your face?" I said, "Yeah, my face is skinnier, so along with the rest of my body."
Yeah.
So.
Well. All right. Any other questions before we boogie?
Let's see. Here's a strange question. Do you think the secret in the chest is that he is Omega Man and the golden eagles in the chest are Omega Eagles? I'm not sure exactly. I thought Omega Man was a TV show like back in the 60s or a movie.
It does sound familiar.
I think it's maybe
I'm thinking of something else, so Dustin Hoffman.
Yeah. Let's see. Fenn doesn't need life alert. No, he's still pretty mobile. On in the Broken Mirror scrapbook, he said he was going to take control. He then put out tons of scrapbooks. He wants it found this year. You know what? That's true. He has been putting out additional material. But you know what? There's still... And Jason and Sasha have done a pretty good job breaking down the scrapbooks. They're still really vague to me. I'm more cut and dry. I need a clue. And I need a starting place.
Ronnie, you need to get a clue.
If I caught a clue, that would be amazing.
Who is Gay Del Con? I don't think we've seen that person before,
there's
have
another
we?
person. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Omega Man is a coin.
Gadelcon. Omega Man. Okay. A coin counterfeiter. Okay. Mega Man was never caught, but printed fake golden eagles with a faint Omega symbol on them. Very hard to tell the difference between a fake and a real coin. Wow.
Have any of our viewers bought Chaseopoly?
Oh, that's the Monopoly game that's based on Forrest Fenn's treasure.
Because there was a big scuttlebutt about whether the makers of that, creators of that particular game,
like a copyright infringement,
were
almost
taking advantage of the situation and making money.
Yeah.
And my response to that was, well, it's all about supply and demand.
Right.
If there's a demand, then if you can fill the supply, then so be it.
Hey, if you want to spend $1 million on creating a Monopoly-like game and putting it out there and advertising it and having people buy it and try to make enough money off of it to break even, more power to you.
Barbara Anderson. Barbara, good morning to you.
Nice.
Nice to have you watching this morning. Yeah. We're going a little bit long today.
Yeah.
Fenn gave the permission, says Tony Russi.
Okay.
Well,
I'm not sure he really has to. There's nothing that I'm aware of. They probably don't use his name. I don't think you could do that, obviously, without his permission, or his likeness. But I think I could make a Monopoly game based on the treasure hunt that would be generic enough that it still kind of covers all of the clues, but is still not infringing on anybody's copyrights. And I don't think he has any copyrights on any of this, honestly.
They say they're not making much on the game. Funny that the game costs more than the book. Funny? Maybe. Ironic? Yes. All right. What in the hell's going on with your computer there?
Man, I'm getting all these email alerts.
You see me looking over there, it's because I can't have the live chat on my computer while we're live. Forrest loved Monopoly, hence my Monopoly solve in West Yellowstone.
Well, that's certainly one of the possibilities. A lot of people have mentioned that. He talks about it in the book. So that's...
Gimme Title says the streets in West Yellowstone match the poem.
God dang. I did not know that. Well...
All right.
I like I said, I hope 2020 is a year.
Yeah.
We need... And I wish that all of these smart searchers could collaborate with one another.
Ain't happening, Ron.
I know it. And it's so... That's the worst part, is when you get one brilliant mind working on it, and you go as far as you can go. And when you get two in there, you can go twice as far. If you were to get 10 or more working on it at the same time and doing it like they do it in The Big Bang Theory, they put everything on a whiteboard and, it's all very scientifically done. That's how you got to go about it. And that's going to be the biggest hurdle to jump, is to getting people to work together on it.
Well, two things. One, there's this egomaniacal way of thinking that the person that finds it is smarter than everyone else in the world.
Right.
Which is not the case.
No.
And the second thing about that is greed.
Right.
No one knows to what degree the amount of money is, or how the worth of the treasure chest and its contents. And so no one wants to split that. Everybody wants to take the entire thing home for themselves. Some people say if they found it, they would just donate it to a museum.
Right.
I can't see where that makes much sense.
No, but you know what?
That's not what Forrest wants.
No. And it's possible. I mean, I think if you had 10 smart people, 10 real searchers on this, boots on the ground searchers, putting their heads together, and obviously you'd have to come up with a contract first of all. I know, and it would not be that expensive to have a lawyer draw something up that, regardless of your input into it, whether you had anything to the actual solve or not, you got 1/10 of the treasure.
Dak says, "Hey guys, what's up? Been a while." Dak,
Yeah, Dak.
great to have you back, my
Yes.
friend. Thank you much for tuning in today. Not near a man-made trail kills my solve too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're probably going to have to go off the beaten path.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be too close to any homes. I think it's going to be out there in the middle of nowhere.
I forgot who said it, but somebody said that where warm waters halt is probably his bathtub in his cabin. And then Evelyn says, "So where is the home of Brown? The toilet?"
That's the home of my Brown. Yep.
Thank you, Ronnie. Way too much information, but thank you.
That's when I take the Browns to the Super Bowl. That's where I go.
All right. I'll tell you what. We got football to watch,
Yeah.
families to get to,
Yep.
things to do, people to do, things to see, etc.
So let me just ask this though.
Okay.
How's everybody like the picture?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
New camera. From what we're viewing, it looks pretty crystal clear.
Mm-hmm. We'd like your feedback right now. We got rid of the popcorn sound as well. We understand why that was happening.
Yes.
I thought you had to go into the control panel in order to turn stuff down. And evidently on the system, the operating system that we use, OBS, you need to turn down the audio output capture and
everything except for the mic that we're using now.
Exactly.
And everything. That looks good and it sounds better.
Yep.
Rick Clemenson says looks great. That's all I need to know.
Yeah, we take a lot of hits for that. And there was another comment about that, which I didn't get to in throwing mean shade, which was said, these guys have been at it for 2 years and they still can't get it right.
Well, and we have a really expensive camera that we were using for our regular shows.
A Canon.
A Canon, beautiful, expensive camera. Worked fine on the regular shows.
Beautifully.
But
we're in 1080p, by the way, right now.
But we could only run 29 minutes, 59 seconds
right.
for a live show.
Mm-hmm.
And so that wasn't going to be good enough for us. And I contacted Canon. Canon said, this is primarily a camera. And it just so happens that this camera takes video. But at more than 30 minutes, the heat damages some sensor in there. And so, yeah, it will not go for more than 29.59 seconds.
Rusty Nipple says gray and washed out, especially with that background.
Oh, okay.
All right, well, maybe we'll change the background for next week. That's not a problem.
Yeah. But we are gray and washed out. We're two pasty white guys. I think it's been said before.
Oh, it's been said.
Yep. And you know what? We can play with the lighting, and we can also play with the contrast. I think a little bit. We do look a little bit whiter than normal. So
I could use a little makeup right there, I think.
Yeah. I'm not sure if that's probably these LEDs.
Yeah, that might be throwing those lights off, Ronnie.
That could be. We'll have to try it. We'll play with it. But thank you.
Mm-hmm. Anything else? Broadcast and audio look great today. Thank you, Evelyn.
Perfect. Hey, that's you know what? Worth the money then. Whatever we spend, it's worth it.
Okay.
It is winter, so we are kind of white and washed out anyway. We're not getting a lot of sun. Although last couple of days, beautiful. Well, except for the one day it rained.
Look what Dak says there, the second one down.
Ronnie, yes, I am thinner. Thank you for noticing. I've lost 31 pounds since August. I'm on the keto diet. Keto diet and intermittent fasting.
Did you say Kino?
Kino is also fun.
Yeah.
But a little tastier.
Background could be lighter. All right, we'll change that up for next week. We'll
try a different background.
But you understand what we're going for here. It's a church background because it's called Mass.
Right.
So.
Yep.
Getting ready to watch football.
Yes. Boy, it's 10 minutes till.
All right, and we better get out of here.
Yep. So.
All right. So.
Appreciate everybody's input on the audio and video.
Absolutely. We'll keep working at it, trying to make it the best we possibly can. We spend a bundle of money here on this.
Yep.
So. Okay. Our website. It's menaresosmart.com. And on Facebook, it's @menaresosmart. As you can see, our email addresses are going across the screen right now. There's mine, and there is Ronnie's.
Mine.
And also, our shows are available on all of the podcasting platforms, not limited to iHeartMedia,
Spotify.
What else am I forgetting?
iTunes.
Mm-hmm. Whatever. Podbean. It's on that as well. So if you like to listen to podcasts, you can find one of ours very easily by either going to searching Men Are So Smart or search Gallagher Entertainment. And
could be either or. It's not available under both in some. Some of it's only available under Gallagher Entertainment.
Right. Subscribe to our channel. That's the most important thing to us right now. And leave us some comments below. Once we finish our live stream, we will pay attention to these comments all day long. We've tried to read as many of the live chat comments as you can put some colored glass in the windows. All right.
That's, you know what? We just are leasing this place. Yeah, we can't change the glass color.
No, we've got a 12-month lease with God.
Yeah.
And he doesn't like to,
He's not a big fan of change.
Yeah, first and last month's rent, too. That was kind of rough. I thought, God.
Well, and the security deposit was big because of the dogs.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. All right, subscribe to the channel. Like the episode. We appreciate your watching today. I'll get it out of my mouth. We appreciate the fact that you watch. We should, for all intents and purposes, be back every Sunday for some time.
Yep.
Do you know what time the 49ers play next week? Because that may throw a wrench in the machine.
I do.
Hopefully they got the 1 o'clock.
I think it's the 1 o'clock game. Yeah,
right,
I was considering buying tickets because I've been to 49er games, but never a playoff game.
Mm-hmm.
So I was looking at tickets.
All right. I'm Lou Gallagher.
Corvette Ronnie.
We're going to attempt to close down the OBS system now. No telling how that's going to work out.
Here we go.
But until next Sunday, here we go. Bye-bye, everybody.
Let me get these close so they can see them.
If you want one, send us a self-addressed stamped envelope.
Yeah.
You'll find the address, our mailing address below. All right, bye. Stop.